Alright, Larry's new testimony here. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening to it real booming loud like, but I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it, too. You're listening to your radio at a high volume? Yeah, what's the big problem? Can't a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country? I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is. Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio. True enough, it is difficult to believe his testimony. Wait, Your Honor, the witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot. Excuse me? DJ? An announcer. The guy was saying things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is, when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks in between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Wright. I can't believe I'm continuing this charade. Or charade, however you want to say it. I want to know what the DJ said. That's all I really care about here. Everything else sounds fine. It's only being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio. I was listening to it real booming loud. But I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it. That's what I want to know. What did he say? Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good could knowing what a radio DJ said do us? Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. We should care? We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Why? Well, how do you know if we don't ask him? Fine, very well. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the shot? Just when she said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," I heard the gunshot. Hey, it's almost Christmas. Press him. Are you sure? Of course I am. She had this real sexy voice. Maybe Aunt Karma was right. I'm not sure how that helped us at all. Oh, what the hell? This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. There is one gleaming ray of hope in there. I've got to press it until we get to the bottom of what happened. Alright, let's get to the last one again. It's got to be that last one. Here, just when she said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," I heard the gunshot. Hey, it's almost Christmas. Alright, we don't know when he died. There's no time of death. Wait a minute. I heard two sounds like gunshots just after midnight on Christmas. But he's saying it's almost Christmas. So this is, yeah. He's saying he heard a shot before midnight. The other girl said she heard two shots after midnight. So this is the discrepancy. Let's try this. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct? Huh? What's with the face? You look scary, dude. And if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy. Something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The TJ said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," when he heard the gunshot. Indeed, and almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. You do realize what this means. When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That seemed to be the case, yes. But that contradicts the two testimonies we've heard so far, Your Honor. Both Miss Hart and the old man said it was after midnight when they heard the shots. In other words, when they heard the gunshots, it was already Christmas. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Order, order, what does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight. Judge, the answer is simple. Snappy, snap, snap, the current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him, suspicious. What? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butts' claim he heard the gunshot before midnight? I believe him. Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard the gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim? Show me evidence there was a gunshot before midnight. What do we have that shows before midnight? Ah! Shows an empty lake taken automatically at 12:24. Oh, alright, here we go. This is the proof. Her camera goes off whenever there's a loud noise. We have a picture that was taken at 11:50. There had to be a gunshot at 11:50. This is the proof. Look at this photograph. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp on the photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m. Oh yeah? But there's nothing on the lake in this picture. Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It is why this photograph exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. The camera was set to go off in response to loud noises. Aha! Correct, there was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. That's why this photograph was taken. In other words, when Larry heard that gunshot, it was most definitely Christmas Eve. Indeed, it would seem that is the case. Then where does that leave us? Miss Hart testified that she heard the gunshots after midnight. Are you claiming she was mistaken? Not at all, Your Honor. It's a fact that the camera also triggered at 15 minutes after midnight. Your Honor, that night there were 2 sets of gunshots with a 25-minute pause between them. Rubble, 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 rubble. Why would this be? Don't be fooled, Judge. That camera was set to respond to loud noises. Yes? There's no proof that the loud noise at 11:50 was a gunshot. Why, the witness could have sneezed, triggering the camera. Hey, my nose was clear that night, man. Clear. Well, Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Can you prove that the loud noise at 11:50 was a gunshot? Please show the court evidence if you have any. Evidence that the shot at 11:50 was a gunshot. Fuck. The murder weapon, .22 caliber, fired 3 times. Bears prints from Edward's right hand. 3 times. 1 shot at 11:50 and 2 shots at 12:15. Here we go. This is my evidence. The murder weapon? Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When then was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. Oh, Merry Christmas, rubble, rubble. Order. That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, Santa needs to take a shit, so we'll take a 5-minute break. No, I'm just kidding. This leaves you wondering exactly what did happen that night on the lake. Exactly. This is true. There were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another at 15 minutes after midnight. Snap, why, I ask you? Why, snap? Uh-oh, better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes. Ah! What's wrong, Nick? I have it. Huh? Remember that case with the Steel Samurai? Huh? Yeah, of course I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case. What do you mean? Maya, yes. If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edgeworth's guilty verdict. I got a hunch, and I'm going to run with it. Right. I mean, is this safe? Safe? We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? Right, Nick. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright. The testimony just now has cleared up this entire case. Oh, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean, Mr. Wright? Tis. So you finally realize the truth? There can be no other murderer here than Miles Edgeworth himself. Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting. Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. Now look at my coat, which looks like Dracula's pimp coat. At the time of the murder, 1 boat was on that lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant, Edgeworth, and the victim, Robert Hammond, were on that boat. There was a gunshot fired on that boat, and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on that boat. I admit it is hard to imagine any other possibility. Yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamp on the photo says 0:15. But Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. Dun dun dun.